In the headlines, a surveillance system launched to monitor or deter indiscriminate dumping. The Ministry of Health confirms Dominica is still Zika-free as they implement a plan of action. And sponsorship begins to trickle in for Queen contestants. I am Lurian Graham Carter with the Channel 5 News. Details coming up. Topping the news, an anti-litter committee for Roseau is making moves to clamp down on people found guilty of littering.
Well, it looks like the war on indiscriminate dumping has begun. A surveillance system will be put in place to monitor the littering culprits. A Roseau anti-litter committee comprising environmental health and tourism authorities, the police, fisheries division, and Solid Waste Management Corporation has piloted the project with the assistance of Platinum Security. Installations of the closed-circuit TV cameras are expected to start within a few weeks.
Our role in this project is really to install the cameras and to train whoever is going to be using it as to how to use it. What the cameras will do is monitor specific areas around the city 24 hours a day, day or night. And in the event that somebody litters in unauthorized areas, these images will be sent to whoever is assigned from the anti-litter committee, and they will take action in that matter. The first installation will be done in the Bath Road area.
Bath Road has been identified as the launch pad for the project since environmental health and solid waste management authorities have found poor waste disposal practices there. The Convent High School's Environmental Club has adopted that street as part of the project.
The roadway along the botanical gardens the residents in that area have been putting out the garbage at any time, and it creates a problem. Well, the Convent High School is impacted in that they have a science lab right on the street, and people continue to put litter for them, and students have to be walking through garbage going to their other environment.
Littering is a criminal offense in which a perpetrator can be charged or imprisoned. The committee hopes to publish culprits' faces on TV, newspapers, and social media in an effort to shame them into breaking the littering habit.
Well, speaking with our lawyers, we understand that it's legal to do that. Well, the police are part of this committee, and what will happen after we've viewed our footage on camera, we will pursue to issue that person with a ticket, with an anti-litter ticket, and get some of that person to court, and whatever proceedings after, we will be able to publish that person the result of the case.
The idea is to get a day in court to hear environmental health and solid waste cases. Idona Jean-Baptiste, Channel 5 News.
Environmental health authorities will strengthen activities during the carnival season to minimize the risk of infection from the Zika virus on island.
The Ministry of Health is reporting that there are no suspected or confirmed cases of the mosquito-borne disease. Two neighboring French islands, Martinique and as recent as this past weekend, Guadeloupe, have recorded cases of Zika. The bulk of visitors to the island for Carnival come from the French islands. Dominica is implementing a plan of action, and according to Senior Environmental Health Officer Clara Charles, surveillance at ports of entry will be stepped up.
At the ports of entry we have, especially at Douglas Charles Airport, Woodbridge Port, Canefield Airport, at the ferry, we have port health officers stationed, and they are available at when all planes come in or when boats come into the island. And they will be receiving the necessary documentations indicating whether that any persons were suspected of being ill on the vessels or the aircrafts. They will also be interviewing individuals who come from areas that are infected with the Zika virus also, and they will also be issuing alert cards to the individuals who come in, telling them exactly if you're infected, what you should do.
Visitors with suspecting Zika symptoms are being asked to report to a healthcare provider.
We have a very large concentration of the Aedes aegypti mosquito in Dominica, and we have areas that are known for high breeding. Therefore, if there's anyone who comes into Dominica with presence of Zika virus, then it is very easy for it to become an explosion and spread out, just like we had before experiences of chikungunya in 2014. Therefore, it is important that persons who come into the island, if they think they have symptoms such as mild fever, headache, pain behind the eyes, conjunctivitis or muscular and joint pain, that they inform the persons at the ports of entry or they seek medical care to prevent really an outbreak within the island.
In the education scene, a signing of the handover certificate marking the completion of the Newtown Primary School took place during a short ceremony on Wednesday. This was symbolized by handing over of a key from the Embassy of the People's Republic of China to the Ministry of Education. Students from Newtown and surroundings moved into the new school founded by the People's Republic of China earlier this month.
All is in place, including the procurement of all necessary furniture for the effective functioning of the Newtown Primary School. As we have told you before, the new Newtown Primary School is truly a state-of-the-art facility, a modern structure that caters for the needs of students. The school boasts large student-friendly classrooms, rooms for art and craft, information technology, a library, kitchen to facilitate the school feeding program, and comfortable office space and staff quarters for school administration and teachers. Other amenities include a sick bay and a new feature to our schools in Dominica, an elevator that caters for the needs of the physically challenged students.
Mr. St. Jean says a date will be announced later for an official opening ceremony of the new school. You are watching Channel 5 News. When we return, the lucky Queen contestants to receive sponsorship. Thank you for staying with us. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says a contribution of 200 tablets to Dominica speaks to the donors' commitment to the island. On Tuesday, Apex Capital Partners handed over tablets to the government of Dominica. The Prime Minister says this shows their willingness to participate in the economic and social development of Dominica. Mr. Skerrit welcomed the support of Apex services both in their words and actions.
By a simple government's policy decision and effecting that policy decision in a practical way, we have caused there to be a revolutionary jump in access to technology and the internet in Dominica. And in large measure that has to do with the leadership which Honorable Kelvadaru has given to his ministry and this particular portfolio responsibility.
The president of Apex Services commended the government's information technology expansion initiatives.
We thought as a company that as a company doing business with the people of Dominica, trying to bring not only investors to Dominica, but we wanted to make our own contribution to the development of information technology. We live in a global world, and without this technology, that access to that global world would be impossible. We are a global company, and we want to encourage globality of the world.
And I can assure you that the program that we have in place as it relates to the information technology sector in Dominica is a very aggressive one, where we want to ensure that all our students have at their fingertips the technology, and these tools will ensure that we continue to move the process forward.
The Prime Minister says they are currently working on having universal access to Wi-Fi at every secondary school in Dominica. 2 Miss Dominica contestants have secured sponsorship from the private sector.
Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper, announced on Wednesday that one Queen contestant is now fully sponsored by a business which wishes to remain unknown. Piper told the media that he would also not disclose the identity of the Queen contestant in question.
We do have a sponsor, but the sponsor wishes to remain anonymous. So private sector is in fact stepping up, and we're happy to, we wish we were in a position to be able to divulge who that is. But it's important for the public to know that the The Queen Show is in fact getting support. Now, that is not to say that all the other sponsors, all the other contestants are not funded. As I mentioned, with the budget we have, we are the organizers of the Queen Show. We always have been. And so there has been no contestant that has gone with requiring any kind of assistance that has not been forthcoming.
Part sponsorship of another Miss Dominica 2016 hopeful was announced at the festival's committee news conference. The Universal Martial Arts Academy is sponsoring Tasia Flosak to the tune of $5,500. The budget per contestant is $15,000.
I, Sensei Shana Robin, founder and CEO of the Universal Martial Arts System, Robin Rue, feel privileged to sponsor Miss Tasia Flosak as a driven individual who is highly motivated in accomplishing her goals and dreams with a fighting spirit to succeed in whatever she does. She represents some of the important elements of what is taught at the Universal Martial Arts Academy. And I also feel honored to support and develop our culture here in Dominica today. We are doing the sponsorship in 3 parts. So we will be sponsoring a total of $5,500 to cover the swimsuit round, the evening dress, and the costume.
Flosak is representing her home village Atkinson and resident community Castle Comfort in the Miss Dominica pageant.
The call for sponsorship is one that has been loud and clear on the airwaves, and I would really just like to thank Sensei Robin for answering that call. I think one of the greatest gifts that one can possess is one of gratitude, and express, I would say, is one of gratitude. And I would just really like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me this stimulus or this impetus to contribute fully to Carnival this year.
And finally, Minister for Public Works Honorable Ian Pinard says government is concerned about the impact of waves overtopping a seawall near Douglas Charles Airport and is committed to addressing that problem.
The issue of waves overtopping the walls on the western side of the runway has become a recurring problem for commuters.
Oh my God! Sheesh! Oh my! Only I can make a run for it? Yes, make a run because if we get dashed. Just go. Oh, Jesus. Lord help me. Oh, Father mercy. Father have mercy. Just go. If you stop, more trouble.
A scary experience there for this driver and passengers as they traveled near the Douglas Charles Airport recently. People of the affected area blocked the road in demonstration back in January 2015, demanding a solution to the sea blast issue which they said was damaging their vehicles. This problem has become an issue again this year, and Parliament representative for Wesley constituency says he wants a solution.
But the seawater is now trapped, and it is into the drains onto the road, from under, and onto the road into the drains from over. So we are having a serious problem. I noticed the citizens had to be running, trying to beat the waves. Students who are attending of East Comprehensive from Atkinson, Concord, Marigot must storm that sea wave to get to school on a daily basis. And the bus drivers are now saying that they're not crossing the area from the Marigot end, so the students must walk across. It is dangerous. It is ridiculous. We have been calling on this government over the years. It's years that we have been calling on this government to address the situation.
Public Works Minister Ian Pinard says Tropical Storm Erica has forced government to prioritize, but government remains concerned about that issue and is in the process of addressing it. He says there's a plan in place to resolve the issue and called on those affected by the sea blast to exercise patience.
We have taken a consultant and a company to actually look at the whole area to see how the road, we can adjust the road. And we think that if the road is adjusted, that the water will not stay on the road. As soon as it comes over the wall and hits the road, it will go down to the drains and it will clear the road a lot quicker. So we are not talking to a firm about it and addressing it, and we're hoping to have something in the next couple of days on it. We're also looking at the rock armor at the back of the wall. In fact, we had budgeted $1 million in the budget look at the rock armor and see how we can address it. If you look at the Point Michel area, the same thing happened also where you have the waves coming on the road and creating a lot of problems. So I just want to let the persons in the northeast part of the island that we're doing everything possible to address the situation, and I'm hoping that they will see some sort of solution in the next couple of weeks in that particular area. But we're doing everything possible right now to addressing it.
Joining us on Chit Chat is Cecil Moses, aka Daddy, who's going to talk to us about Mass Camp tomorrow night.
Well, thank you very much, and of course, say good evening to your viewers everywhere. Shalom Mass Camp featuring night number 3 with the mighty Gabi. We have some brilliant Calypsonians who's going to be performing for us and doing what they do best. Of course, the mighty Gabi is going to be hitting the stage and really entertaining the audience in a way only he can. Of course, closing the show, we have our featured artists, which is the Buple, Checo, and the King Dice. We're asking our Calypsonians, to come on out and really perform very well, and like they always do for our patrons. And we're thanking the patrons as always, because they always come out and do a great job of supporting. Also want to say thank you to our sponsors, and we're asking the patrons not to eat on a Calypso night, because we want you to come out and patronize our Calypso kitchen. All right, check out our website page, our Facebook page, and critique as well as you can, and view what's happening there, because it's going to be a fantastic night come tomorrow, Thursday. Showdown Mass Camp night number 3, explosive with the mighty Gavin, our Calypsonians.
Okay, so you can join Daddy Cecil tomorrow night, Thursday, Mass Camp at
Showdown Mass Camp. Begins at 6:30, of course, happy hour, and then we move into high gear from 8.
Great. Sports is next with Kenny Williams.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. First up in sports, the Dominica Football Association has flexed its disciplinary muscles to control the behavior of players and teams who have acted contrary to the good of the sport. Deshaun Joseph and the Gully Dream team are now at the mercy of the local football governing body.
The Dominica Football Association has handed down some disciplinary measures in its Division 1 league. Deshaun Joseph of Corleo football team has been banned for 4 matches by the disciplinary committee of the DFA for leading the walk-off of his team in a match against MV Maxano Bombers on 12 December 2015. Mr. Joseph shall also write a letter of apology to the match officials, the disciplinary committee, the Corleo football team, and the DFA. The letter of apology must be submitted to the office of the DFA no later than 7 days after receipt of the report. Jimmy Langley, who attended the disciplinary hearing as team manager, shall also write a letter of apology which must be signed by himself and team members and to be submitted to the office of the DFA no later than 7 days after receipt of the report. While the Gully Dream team of Buffet State has been suspended with immediate effect from participating in any activities organized under the auspices of the Dominica Football Association, pending a hearing with the disciplinary committee for the non-appearance of 2 consecutive matches in the league.
Meantime, football enthusiasts can look forward to a sport-filled week as the Premier League and Division 1 matches continue.
On Thursday, Maosoka Strikers will battle Starring and Son St. Joseph at 5 p.m. at the Dubla playing field, while in a doubleheader at the Pori playing field, Grand for Young Boys will take on Cupchis Barbershop Buffet State from 5 p.m. to be followed by RC Doctors versus Kinfield Football Club at 7 p.m. On Friday, ACS Tarish United will come up against Petro Caribe Point Michel at 5 p.m. in the first match of a doubleheader at the Pori playing field, while at 7 p.m. Daspa Potters will take on RIC Kensborough. And at the Benjamin Park, it will be Glanville Renegades versus Itasi United at 5 p.m. Meantime, in the DFA Flow Premier League on Saturday, Sajiko Southeast will take on defending champions Kyrie FM Exodus Football Club at 3 p.m. in the first match of a doubleheader at the Winter Park Stadium, to be followed by Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers versus League Leaders Dubla Football Club at 5 p.m. In another doubleheader on Sunday, at the Windsor Park Stadium, Signman Middleham United will come up against Malta India Icons Football Club at 3 p.m., while at 5 p.m. it will be Buffet State Football Club versus Caribbean Cool Harlem United.
We pick up bat and ball now for some cricket action. The 2016 United Insurance Secondary Schools Under-20 Championships continued at Botanical Gardens and Benjamin Park on Tuesday. At Gardens, the Isaiah Thomas Secondary secured an innings and 40 runs victory over Goodwill Secondary. GSS first up to bat could only make 32 before the last batsman was left at the crease. Isaiah Thomas in reply scored 139 for 6. Micah Joseph recorded 55 and Curly Alphonse 29, both not out. Meantime, more cricket action continued at Benjamin's Park when Portsmouth Secondary and Northeast Comprehensive met up to play. PSS were all out on 69 with Dalton Wallace scoring 16 and Derrickson Paul 14. Wanu Joseph took 5 for 17 and Derry Ogis 3 for 10 for NECS. However, that game was later washed out by rain. Still in the United Insurance Secondary Schools Cricket Championships.
St. Mary's Academy and Dominica Grammar School played to a draw at Windsor Park. However, first inning points went to SMA. St. Mary's batted first, scoring 169 all out. Daniel Dupini scored an impressive 64, Terrell Touset 27 and Akeem Moore 31. Bowling for DGS. Neil Tain took 3 for 17, Nathan Ducktrove 2 for 28, Saeed Seaman 2 for 34, and Jovan Nesme 2 for 37. DGS replied with 96 all out, Equan Bernard 23, Nigel John Lewis 17, Mikhail Marshall 12. SMA then returned to bat, scoring 84 for 2, Terrell Touset added 47 and Taj Travanier 22 not out.
Come with me now to Granby, where Zaman Gamet Dominica Grammar School and Pierre Secondary contended in some volleyball action. The girls took to the court first, ending on 3-0 in favor of DGS. Defending champions, Grammar School dominated the game, recording 25-20, 25-19 and 25-17. Then it was the boys' turn on the court when the home team turned the tides. PCSS held the visitors 3-0 with results of 25-16, 25-12 and 25-13. Meantime, the action continued on the eastern side of the country, where Goodwill had Cassie Bruce under their heel for a 3-0 win in the female category. The teams played to 25-15, 25-18 and 25-12. Following them was another 3-0 finish as Dominica State College and Cassie Bruce Secondary boys finished on 25-21, 25-19 and 30-28. State College won that match. That's all the time we have for sports. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time.
And now for another segment of Flashback.
Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris. Welcome to this new edition of Flashback. Today we take you back to 1995 when under the Dominica Freedom Party they established a fishermen's locker room here in Petite-Savanne. Let's take a look.
Fishermen from two communities, Petite-Savanne and Fort-Saint-Jean, now have a place to store their gear. Government this afternoon handed over the facilities to the fishermen. The locker rooms were constructed under the auspices of the World Food Program.
This facility here is one of 11 sites, fish landing sites, improved under the World Food Program. At Petite-Savanne, there were great difficulties, as you can see as you travel to the fish landing sites. First, we had to construct that road to be able to do any work at the landing. This is a program which is of high priority as far as the government is concerned, and very soon we expect to see more improvements as far as fisheries development go.
I want to also thank the government of Dominica on behalf of the Petite-Savanne people for really considering us and having reached so far in that stage. Although they have not completed the full thing, but so far what has already been done, we are very much grateful for it. Thank you very much.
We've recognized for years that we've been buying too many products from outside, whereas if only we would improve our facilities, we would be able to cut down on those imports.
Prime Minister Dame Mary Eugenia Charles, before cutting the ribbon, spent some moments talking of the donors who had made all this possible.
So it is important for you to realize that it doesn't come easily. You don't sit in your bed and think, fish landing site for Petite-Savanne, and then next morning it crops up from the sea, you know. The first time we spoke about fish landing sites must have been in 1983, the World Food Program. But it's particularly important that we should produce more fish. I personally look forward to the day when nobody wants to eat chicken in Dominica because they're tired of it, they're fed up of seeing it, and they're much happier to be able to eat the fish that comes out of our own seas.
This is what's left of the fishermen's locker room, which was built here back in 1995 under the Freedom Party. But from the looks of it, and based on what has happened during Erica with the evacuation of the people here, the notion of this place being rebuilt is probably non-existent. It might never happen again. But the idea of having sustainability in our food supply and making sure that we reduce our food import bill is the same today as it was back then, particularly with the opening of the new abattoir. I am Julian Morris, and this has been Flashback. Join us next week for another interesting story on Flashback.
Your weather report is next.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I will be a presenter for this evening, Farah Rock Korea. A higher pressure system was a dominant feature today, resulting in fair to partly cloudy conditions across the region today, with an increase in cloudiness by afternoon across the southern portion of the islands. Earlier radar imagery indicated scattered shower activity across the islands of the Lesser Antilles. The weather tonight is expected to be occasionally cloudy with scattered showers, and an improvement is expected tomorrow. Fair to partly cloudy skies are expected. The sea conditions tomorrow will be moderate, and waves are expected to be up to 7 feet. For the next 3 days, what can we expect? Well, Thursday and Friday, fair to partly cloudy skies are expected. However, an increase in cloudiness is expected by Saturday, with also an increase in wind speeds. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, a high pressure system will remain the dominant feature, resulting in fair to partly cloudy skies across the region. On the international scene, relatively cooler temperatures are expected for New York and Beijing, with a winter storm expected by the weekend for New York. Mostly cloudy conditions across Miami and London, and some beautiful warm conditions are expected for Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:36 a.m. and will set at 5:58 p.m. Feel free to visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us tomorrow evening for your next weather broadcast. Thank you.
To end the news, the headlines again. A surveillance system launched to monitor or deter indiscriminate dumping. The Ministry of Health confirms Dominica is still Zika-free as they implement the plan of action, and sponsorship begins to trickle in for Queen contestants. Email us at news@marpin2k4.com and visit our YouTube page to catch up on our past newscasts. On behalf of the production team, I am Doreen Graham Carter. Thank you for joining us.